Good afternoon, lecturers. Welcome to today's webinar hosted by Macmillan Trilpant. Thank you for joining us and giving up of your time. We know it's a busy part of the year, but we can assure you that the webinar that's been designed and developed for you today is going to make life so much easier for you as you implement curriculum changes in the second semester. Right at the outset, I'd like to offer our apology for the difficulties we faced last week, both technical and our presenter wasn't in the best of health. So she's recovered fully and she's ready to go today. My name is Gyan Krishna. I'm the National Sales Manager at Macmillan. And the aim of today's webinar is to take you through the changes in the curriculum and make it easy for you to implement it in the new semester. We welcome your feedback and all questions will be answered. Please make use of the control panel to post your questions and feedback under the chat box or the question section. Also note that sample copies are on the way to your campus. They should have reached your campus by now. If not, they will be there in the next few days. But what I'm also going to do is to post a link so that you can view the book online. So please copy that link and you can have a look at it later. And to move on to today's presenter, her name is Alma Janse van Rensburg. She's the head of Department of Business Studies at Northlink College. Alma has extensive experience in various aspects of lecturing and being a manager. She has been in education for almost 40 years and dealt with a high number of business subjects, including entrepreneurship N4 and N5, marketing management N4, labor relations N5 and N6, introductory accounting and financial accounting N4, personnel management N4 and N5, equipping her with extensive knowledge on all aspects of entrepreneurship. She has marked entrepreneurship for many years, as well as some of the other subjects. She has also acted as examiner in internal moderator at the DHET. She is an external moderator at Umalusi and is familiar with how questions should be set to cover all the cognitive levels. She is the author of a number of books published by Macmillan Trilpant, including Introductory Financial Accounting N4, Introductory Entrepreneurship and Business Management N4, Entrepreneurship and Business Management N5, Labor Relations N5, and Labor Relations N6. So the presenter today comes with a wealth of experience. She's a subject expert, and you can be rest assured that you are in very, very capable hands. So I don't want to waste any more time, but hand you over to our presenter, Alma.
Thank you so much again for the introduction. Lecturers, thank you so much for taking your time, joining us today. And I really hope that you will benefit a lot from this. I know when you face a new syllabus, you always have a lot of uncertainties. And we are really trying this afternoon to put you at ease, just to show you that you don't have to stress such a lot. Again, I need to move to my next slide. I don't know. Thank you so much. So in this webinar, we are going to have a look at the new curriculum outcomes. And I want to put you at ease right at the beginning. It really didn't change such a lot. But there are new requirements in the syllabus with regard to especially the practical component. You see, I think we're now at the stage also where we have to say we're not just busy preparing the students to write an exam, but we have to create the love for entrepreneurship. Seeing that unemployment is so high, we must motivate them with this course in N4 and N5, because most students have to do N4 and N5 to guide them on how to, without just having to write an exam, really become an entrepreneur. Yes, I've already been presented. When I listened to Gyan 40 years, I realized you must think it's a grey lady by now. So this is what it's all about. Implementation date, please note it is July 2022, so it is just around the corner. If we look at the general aims, I'm not going to read them because you can read. I just want to highlight again what I've said. Encourage your entrepreneurs or your students to become entrepreneurs. You know, I've noted so many times with the business plans in 4, they are so unrealistic in the sense that they work in business plans with millions of rands, most probably because they Google something on internet. But we need to guide them on what is practical. They need to understand you don't have to start with millions of rands to become a successful entrepreneur. If we look at the specific aims, this book focuses, or syllabus focuses very much on how are you going to manage your business. So in module 4 and 5, we actually take you back to the business plan that the students did in N4. The accent is very, very much on the planning of those functions that you already, or the students already did in N4, namely finance, marketing management, etc. We're also going to have a look at the complexities of operations management. Now, for many students, this most probably will not always be relevant because that is where you manufacture yourself. But we still need to prepare them for that as well. So here you see the learning content of the new curriculum. Please take note of the weighted values. There had been shifts in the modules. Theory very much stayed the same, but they shifted the topics around from the one module to the other. And there are 2 definite modules that you might not have dealt with in such detail in the past. And that is module 4 and 5. I will come back to it. But these 2 modules are on the implementation of that business plan that the students did in 4. Now, this module 4 and 5 previously had been module 9 in the old syllabus. But I got the feeling with time that lecturers actually did not pay such a lot of attention to that. But now you will have to, because there are weighted values attached to this. There you see the rest of the modules, very familiar. Organizing the business, staffing the business, controlling, and then operations management. As I've said, some modules just shifted from, for example, module 6 to module 7. So if we can have a look in summary, before I will go with you through every module, module 2.3.1, I'm just going to mention it here, a little bit of added details. Module 4, some detail had been removed. But now I want to say again about module 4. Lecturers, you need to remember, it's not about a textbook. It's about the syllabus. So make sure that whatever textbook you choose really covers the syllabus. Although I want to put you at ease by saying that DHET is screening the textbooks to make sure that that is the case. So for some of you, module 4 might look new. Why? It's not really so new. And the same with module 5. Module 4 and module 5 take you back to the business plan that the students did in 4. Module 7 is exactly the same than what you did in the previously addressed module 6, and module 8 the same than what you've done in 7. The curriculum is very, very specific on evaluation. Now, you are all familiar with assessment 1, assessment 2, assessment 3. The major change is assessment 1. There are right through the book, I think 9 tasks that the students have to do to contribute to their assessment 1. They also have to update their business plan, but I'm going to show you how easily you can let them do that. I think for some of you this might sound like a nightmare, but I will guide you on how to do it. They also have to do one of the following. They either have to visit a business and work in a business, or they have to offer a market day. I think the easiest will be to go for the option of having a market day. All right, if you look at module 1, and now you will see I'm putting you at ease. There's really no curriculum changes. And I am very proud today to say that Macmillan Tropant supported me so much in writing this book, and they're very, very particular. If there's a topic 1.1 in the syllabus, there will be a corresponding 1.1 in the textbook. I previously mentioned that the textbooks go for screening, and I really say in all humbleness today, thanks to the support of Macmillan and Tropant, but we received 100% rating from DHET with not a single weak point. They only highlighted the strong points. Module 2.3.1, there's a little bit of extra theory. Once you look at the textbook, you will see it's a little bit on the role of personnel or managers, but I've added so many examples that you will have no doubt on how to deal with this. Module 3, as such, if you look at the curriculum, no changes. But if you are familiar with in 5, the old syllabus then, or textbook, whatever you used, there was a question on, is my behavior legal? And then most of textbooks had 3 questions. How let it feel me about myself? Is my behavior balanced? Is my behavior legal? But now the syllabus specifies the criteria. They say you have to test it according to the golden rule, the television and family test rule, the utilitarian principle, and we have now changed that so that it speaks to the syllabus. But otherwise, this whole module is simply on ethics and social responsibility, like you dealt with in the past. If you look at module 4, now I think this is the module that lecturers think, oh my word, what must we do here? Because this says implementation of planning in the business plan. And then you will see they literally take you back to almost the whole of the N4 syllabus. Because in there, it's the planning for finance, it's the planning for marketing, it's the planning for human resource, it's the planning for, and so I can go on. Lecturers, you will see in front of my book, or the lecturer's guide, I said that module 4 and 5, although it looks like very comprehensive, it should actually not take you more than 2 weeks to do, because the students are very, very familiar with this. And even to help you more, in these modules 4 and 5, which are very much based on N4, above the fact that we summarized it for you again, and we explained it with examples again. We even included at the back of the book the business plan pause and clause again, so that the students can just refresh what the business plan looks like. We added now videos. Now, some of you received the videos for Info and some didn't, because at the time when the lecturer's guide was distributed, the videos were not ready. And the same with PowerPoint slides. So I just want to mention to you that the Info textbook, if you order the lecturer's guide, there is PowerPoint presentation, there are videos on aspects such as the break-even point, the cash flow statement, and also the weighted average cost. Now, you will know, for instance, that the break-even point can be asked again. As a matter of fact, it had been asked again in the paper that the students wrote now. So to assist you and the students, in the book, you will find QR codes. So if they put, or if they snap scan it, it will take them directly to these aspects dealt with in Info. And they will also be able to see the videos again on how to calculate the break-even point, how to calculate the cash flow, etc. This is now a new thing that we're trying to help the lecturers and the students, seeing that the syllabi now integrate, and they keep on referring back to Info. The reason why we, however, still had to put the theory in is because, remember, in the exam, they can't use their cell phones to access QR codes. So we made provision for when they are at home to access explanations, but also when it's an open book exam, that they will have access to the theory. So lecturers, this is actually a very familiar module to the students. The only new thing, and it's also not new because they just shifted it here, is the development of a mission and the development of long-term objectives. Now, the students already dealt with this in Info, but now there are a little bit more of theory. For example, if they have to evaluate their long-term objectives, to do it to the principle of SMART. I can assure you there are so many examples that the students actually cannot go wrong. Module 5, I sometimes don't totally understand the topic weighting of this determined by DHET, because it actually says 15 and the theory is very little, and it also takes you back to Info, because this is simply now about the supporting documents. You know, that aspect that the students did or normally do right at the end of their business plan. Now, this is also not new. Some of you might just be unaware, because that previously had been in the old syllabus, Module 9. So this module is purely about supporting documents and then guiding the students on how to do a presentation of their business plan. Now, if you look at the heading, Module 5, Revising the Business Plan, I know this is most probably the biggest nightmare for the lecturers, but it's not so bad. We put in a Annexure C in the textbook for the students and also for the lecturer to see how can they revise their Info business plan. Because I'm fully aware of the fact that the students hand in this business plan and that it is kept as evidence for monitoring. And for sure, we cannot photocopy all these business plans and then the students resubmit the business plans again. So my suggestion in the textbook is that the students will only have an opening paragraph saying, I did my business plan in Info on this and this and this, and then they will do the task. And if I read to you the task, you will hear it's short answers. The task from module 1, for example, is that they have to revise the external environment analysis. Now that is about the external only, the threats and the opportunities. So that is a very, very short answer. Then the task from module 4 is revising the long-term objectives. They already have objectives and now they just have to revise it. Now that is why I put in the book my own pause and clause from last year as well, and then I revised it at the hand of pause and clause so that the students can see what is expected from them. Then in module 5, they have to compile a short curriculum vitae and also a short resume of their business. That is like 5-6 sentences. Module 6, very easy. They have to revise their organogram. And then module 7, they have, and this is now new, but they have to say to you for what employee they are doing it. They have to compile a job description. And then from module 8, they have to do a zero-based budget and also calculate the break-even analysis. And then module 9, they have to do analysis on production. Lecturers, I'm looking at my textbook now. In total, this is about 4.5 typed pages. Now, I know in the past, all colleges just compiled their own practical, but it will now be no longer necessary to do this. We also include a video for you on this. The In5 book has a video specifically on this, guiding the student on how must they approach it. Now, I watched that video last night and I was actually so proud to see how it had been done, because they would state what is the task. Then they will have a column on where can the students find the theory. Then they've got a column on where the task is in the book. And then they've got a column on where can you see an example of what is expected from you. So these tasks, if you think about them, your students are actually familiar with all these topics already, except the job description and the zero-based budget. So they can actually start very, very easy and very early with this. I think, and I really hope that you feel better now about module 4 and 5, because I just think these two were the most uncertain ones. If you look at module 6, the organizing of the business, there was really no curriculum changes. Module 5, staffing the business. Now that previously was module 6. And then they also just shifted, sometimes the decision-making process, I think, had been shifted to another module, but the theory did not change. And they just omitted in the tests, they omitted the physical examination. Controlling your business. Here you have to look at things like that might not have been covered in all textbooks, but it definitely had been in the syllabus. So for some of you, the zero-based budget might now look new, but it's not as such new. It had been in the syllabus, but now it is covered in all textbooks, because this is also one of the assessments that the students will have to do. And they also have to do, coming from this module, again, a break-even analysis. As I've said previously, there will be somewhere in the book, a module 4, a link where they can snap scan, and then it will open up a video to them on how to calculate the break-even analysis. Or you as a lecturer, if you received the lecturer's guide for Infor, and you also received the flash drive, the videos for Infor, I think there are 8 videos on calculations for Module 4, and this is one of them. Module 9, no curriculum changes. You might just see that we really try to incorporate as many as possible examples, because this is not always a easy module for the student. So if you look at the summary of the most important curriculum changes, shifting topics from one module to another, renumbering of modules here and there, the added details, more guidance on evaluation, the fact that we've now added to assist you and the students QR codes for immediate access also to online videos. But I think more important that you can access Infor and also the videos of Infor, as well as the new videos of In5. Now for In5, as I've said, we made a video on how to approach the practical component where the students have to revise their business plan of Infor. We also included the ratio analysis, the return on investment, assets, liquidity. And there's a third one that for the moment now, oh yes, the third one is on how to go about to do zero-based budgeting. So if I can just come to the special features of the book. Each module starts with an overview, and I can 100% assure you that what you see here is what is in the syllabus. Then every module, they all have the same pattern, will have a starter activity. It either links to what they already know to bring them into the picture, or it's about relevant matters. Like this one was on COVID. It's again on the external environments. They are familiar with it. But you know, we always, when we lecture, we have to go back to embedded knowledge and then lecture them new knowledge or information based on that embedded knowledge. Yeah, I really want to say to you, I don't think you can get more examples. Right through the book, we realize the importance of application. This is just so important. And that is, to some of you, the textbook might look thicker or more comprehensive, but I can guarantee you the theory is not more. It is because we try to provide the students with as many examples as possible. A lot of activities, you will see those that are straightforward, but we need to keep in mind that year-end paper and also your internal papers, you all are familiar with Bloom's taxonomy. And we can't expect from students only to be confronted with higher order thinking questions in a final exam. So when I developed these activities right through, I kept in mind there must be activities that purely address understanding and remembering your knowledge component. But then you have to move to the middle level where it's about analysis and application. But you also have to move to the highest order of thinking where you address evaluation and creation. And you know, I think if there is now really a subject that can cover these cognitive levels excellently, then it is entrepreneurship. Yeah, you will see diagrams because the mind tends to remember a diagram sometimes much better than a whole paragraph. This I already spoke about, and I'm thankful that Macmillan did this for me. The QR codes for the videos, taking you back to N4, the theory, online videos, etc. You will also note that we add notes, just reminding randomly people, listen, when you calculate your current assets to your current liabilities is always one, and the other one will be then the other figure to be calculated. Just, you know, here and there, small notes. Also exam tips like know what you are looking for. You know, sometimes you will agree with me when you walk around and you see how the students page in their book because they don't know what they are looking for. And the same with when you do ratio analysis, that video will explain very clearly to the students. For this, you go there. For that, you go there. They must exactly know where must they find the information. Vocabulary, we need to remember that English is not the first language of all learners, so we also try to assist here. You will also see these to give the students an overview of a section of work that is going to be discussed. Again, my mind can remember this triangle: strategic, tactical, operational. And you know, I always say to the students, if you look at this, you must immediately be able to elaborate on the key words that you see here. This I already spoke about. Lecturers, you know that during COVID, they said we must now really move in the direction of online lecturing. Later it became blended learning. But with this book, should there happen something again, I want to assure you, you've got, and the students got everything that they need to do this subject online. You've got more than examples, more than enough examples. You've got a workbook. You as a lecturer have a lecturer's guide providing you with all the answers to all the exercises. We did the planning for you right at the beginning of the book. We are including the QR codes for direct access to videos and also the linkage to N4. Now, this is very, very important. You will realize this, how important this is. As I've said previously, we can't just ask knowledge type of questions and then all of a sudden the students see in the exam these case studies. And that is why I included really a high number of case studies. You will see that sometimes or more than once, I actually combine the modules already. So for instance, it's module 6, and I put in there a case study. Then the questions don't only come from module 6. It can also already come from module 4 up to module 5. Now, you have the answers of all these exercises in that lecturer's guide that will be provided. You will find a summary of each module strictly according to the subject outcomes. Unit 1, then you will see the summary for Unit 1, etc. At the end of each module, you will find a summative assessment as done in the external exam. So they all start with a section A and then a section B. And section B will be all the application type of questions. I already referred to it. It was also in the N4 book, but because the students have to revise their old business plans, I put this in again. And you know, then I even included exercises like evaluate the business plan by looking at what was the long-term objectives, because this is one of the things that they have to revise. And then you will see that it can be bettered, because if you test the long-term objectives in this business plan of pause and close, then they will see, but there are things missing. They can add a timeline and things like that. So they can learn from an existing business plan why it is necessary from time to time to revise your long-term objectives. Yes, that is the one that I already explained to you. And next should be guiding you and the students on how to deal with all these tasks, because I think this can be overwhelming. But as I've said, if you look at this, you will realize it's really very short answers. I mean, they have to draw an organogram, they have to revise one external environment. So it's about a threat or an opportunity. They have to do the job description, the zero-based. It's really not that lot of things that need to be done. Then you also find, like in all the other books, a glossary with terminology. So if we can come to the special features, there's really a comprehensive lecturer's guide. There's a workbook. Now, in that comprehensive lecturer's guide, there's a suggested teaching plan. You can just fill in your dates. Everything had been typed out. All the exercises, the reference to the exercises had been typed out. We already divided it as if you are going to complete it. It's normally about 12, 13 weeks. But you will put in the dates yourself. There's a lesson plan. There you will find comprehensive answers. There's an example of a practice exam in this workbook. And you, as I've said, you will also get from Macmillan the videos and also PowerPoint presentations for all the modules. Now, when you get the PowerPoint presentations, you will see we've done the basics, but you can upgrade it, you can add, but we just try to assist you so that the PowerPoint slides, the pictures that are used, are the same then in the book, so that the student can relate to what they see in the book and what they see on the PowerPoint slide. But you can manipulate it, you can adjust it. So what did we do this afternoon? We have highlighted the changes to entrepreneurship and business management in 5. I've tried to give you an overview of what really changed, how you can approach the practical component, what you will find in the workbook, in the lecturer's guide, in the student book. And I really hope that you are feeling more at ease now and that you are looking forward dealing with entrepreneurship in 5. My best wishes for you for the rest of the year. And thank you once more to Macmillan and Troupant for giving me the opportunity to share this with you this afternoon. And once more, my apology for those of you that logged in last week where I became ill and I couldn't present. Thank you so much. Back to you again.
Okay, thank you, Alma, for a comprehensive presentation. Lecturers, we now like to open up to a Q&A, give you the opportunity to pose your questions to Alma, and she provide the best answer that she can. Just going to the chats, Bocello Mashego wants to know, is it possible for you to also show us the slides of the part in the textbook you are currently talking about? So I think she wants the page reference for the slides. I think we can do that separately. We probably don't have to do it now. Alma, maybe
yes,
when you have some time.
Oh, what I wrote, and yes, I can type it out, and what I said I can just also email to you again, and then you can send it with the webinar recording.
That's perfect. Yeah. Bocello, I hope that addresses your question. Next, if you could just unmute yourself and you can pose your question. Or feedback that you have on today's presentation, how you've taken it in, has it addressed everything that you needed to find out? And are you now equipped to implement the changes in semester 2? Please note that the link to view the book online appears in the chat. You can copy that. Kenneth Takane's question is, are QR codes on all chapters? Alma, you want to take that?
It depends whether it's necessary. You know, where it is necessary, we've put it in the modules. But I have to check, but I'm sure they are in all the modules, some or other QR code where it had been needed to put it in.
Our VOS question pertains to samples, so I will handle that. Are samples sent to all colleges? Yes. If you haven't received a copy, please contact me. My email is at the bottom, and we'll organize a sample for you as quickly as possible. But what you can do in the interim is just to view the book online to just assess if it meets your needs. Okay, next. There's nothing further in the chat box. If you'd like to just pose your question directly to Alma, you're welcome to. Does chapter 5 include a sample of a business plan for students to work from? Again, from Kenneth Takane.
Yes, it does. Right at the end of the book, there's a Annexure A with the business plan of last year. Now remember what we said, they won't have their business plans anymore because they handed it in. And I'm of the opinion we also can't expect from a lecturer to remark now a whole business plan. That's why we've made the suggestion that the students will just have an opening paragraph saying, I did my business plan in 4 on this and this. They must just be quite clear on what they did it on, and then they will just hand in that with the additional tasks, because it is explained very clearly what is meant by revising your business plan. There are 7 definite tasks, so it doesn't mean they have to take that whole plan and now redo it. It's just these additional tasks that they must look at now. That is why we included again as guidance for them my business plan of last year, pause and clause, and then we indicated to them how will they now revise pause and clause? So I've given them the answers as well in Annexure B, according to the tasks stipulated in the syllabus.
Thank you. Okay, there's nothing further, Alma. Once again, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Gan, and to the lecturers, take care.
Yes, take care and everything of the best. Oh, there's one here. Is it possible, Alma, for them to contact you during the semester for additional support when the need arises?
Yes, of course. Of course, I will gladly assist. Gan, will you send them, or can they see somewhere my email address?
What we'll do when we send out the recording to today's session,
yes,
your email will come up there as well. So
okay, but I will also include it in that additional notes. You know, the talking that I did today, that additional notes. I will just state it on there as well.
All right, perfect. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time, and all the best. Bye.
Thank you.